What if it's all falling apart for you right now? What if it feels like every single area of your life that you thought would be improved by now is even worse than it was before because you have not yet given yourself full permission to love that part of yourself who is experiencing shame around it or judgment? I have personally been going through a lot of what has felt like rock bottom in certain areas of my life, even though I feel like I've been doing so much deep healing work. Areas where I had made huge strides, huge improvements. I've felt like I've gone backwards, that I've been stuck again, that I don't know how I'm still in these same heavy emotions and patterns in my life. And I want to share some details in this video. This is like not my typical time of recording. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm still like waking up today, but I'm really trying to share more personal details because I think that sometimes that's what helps us feel less alone. So, over the past few months, I've been so triggered in things that I had been doing so much healing work on. I had this really difficult relationship with bugs and nature, and all I want to do is connect with nature and feel safe outside because it's so healing. And I had gotten to this place where I was feeling so good about it, and I was like trusting and laying in the grass again. And then I had this horrible experience where I was surrounded by these spiders and wasps and all of these bugs in the home that I was supposed to sleep in, and it just re-traumatized me. It re-triggered me. And now I kind of feel like I'm back to square one. I don't understand. It was hard for me to understand why. The same thing with money. I had felt like I was getting to a good place, feeling stable and more abundant. And then it felt like I just got hit with so many things that made me feel so hopeless about it and feel like I'm backtracking, I'm not doing enough, I'm not working hard enough. The last thing that came up for me last week was that all of a sudden, I felt like I gained a bunch of weight. And in the past, that would have been something that just set me off and tried to push me back into these old patterns of restriction and feeling like the worst possible thing that could happen to me would be to gain weight. And I've realized something so important since accessing all of these really low points of spaces that I thought that I would never get to again, that all of these triggers, they come in waves when we're healing, especially when it is a really deep wound. My phobia that I had around bugs, that was a deep one. My relationship with my body, that has been something that I've been trying to improve and work on my entire life. Money has been something that for years I haven't felt truly stable with. And so all of these things had become my main goal to fix. And what happened, I realized, was that in the beginning, when I was first trying to heal and work on these things, I had patience and compassion for myself. And I would start to heal and feel a little bit better. But what I didn't realize is that healing can come in waves. Our bodies are not fully equipped or capable of processing the totality of these emotions and beliefs all at once. I mean, maybe it's possible, but for me, with these deep wounds, it's felt like it's come in waves. It's felt like I will have a moment where it feels like I'm really in the height of the experience of the heaviness and the fear. And then I have freedom from it and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling stable. And then again, I dip back down, and I want to share that this is part of the healing process. But we get stuck because we think that we should only have to heal from something once. We think that it should only come in that one wave, and then once we're free, we're free. But what if what you're doing is creating a strength within you to be able to feel at deeper levels? What if these things come back up because you've cleared one level of it and now you're ready to clear the next? I think that we get stuck when we think we shouldn't be feeling it anymore, when we think we should already be over it, when we think we shouldn't have these thoughts coming in. For me, with my body, that's the one that I had worked on the most and I had felt in such a good place. And that's the one that I notice I have the most strength around right now when fearful thoughts come up and tell me that I should go on a diet or that I need to work out more. My higher self is with me now and holding that part of me that is so afraid of not meeting this standard of beauty that I decided I needed to meet. I hold that part now, but I refuse to let that part dictate the actions that I'm going to take, because I'm holding this vision of somebody who feels so free in my body, not worried about what I'm eating, moving because I love to move, not trying to chase this outer standard. I'm so committed to that even as these waves of emotion come up, as difficult as they are, and as much as there's so much of me that wants to go back and try and grip onto control and maybe go on a diet or do something, I allow myself to feel the part of me that is scared, that emotion that's coming up, the part of me that thinks I'm not going to be lovable, or that everybody's going to judge me or laugh at me, nobody's going to accept me. That part needs space to feel in those moments. And when we judge ourselves for being in the same sensation that we thought we had cleared, that's when we block it from coming through us. It's the same thing about money. Money often leads us to such a deep panic within ourselves that we immediately go to, okay, how can I fix this? How can I do more? How can I create more money? Maybe I should stop meditating so much and start focusing on building a career for myself, or maybe I should get another job, or maybe I need to do this and that. That is the ego wanting to take action out of fear to fix the issue, when the only thing that needs to happen in that moment is to use the opportunity that fear comes up to let it come up, to hold it with love. We get triggered in these things again. We haven't cleared these patterns because there are certain emotions and imprints within us that are wanting space to be felt lovingly. So when you find yourself in a pattern that you thought you had cleared, and an emotion that you thought you had cleared, when you find yourself, maybe things are getting worse instead of getting better, and you've been wanting to manifest this different outcome, you've been wanting your life to get better. When you find yourself getting worse, imagine that it is you digging to the depth of where that imprint originated, where that limiting belief or fear or bad experience with money or your body or whatever it is, where that originated within you. As things get worse, you get closer to the root of that feeling. And the most powerful and loving thing you can do for yourself in that moment, and this is what I'm working on right now, is witnessing it, connecting to this unconditionally loving presence within you, and letting that emotion be there. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to take action around it. You don't have to change anything. Let it be there. Observe the way that your mind tries to judge it. Understand that your mind judging it is also a part of you that's afraid and wanting to fix this, wanting to move away from this discomfort. But your power lies in your ability to be in that discomfort without trying to change anything, without identifying with any stories around it, but just holding it, letting it move through you. Yesterday, when I experienced, some fear about money, I literally just let myself throw a temper tantrum and freak out and huff and puff and shake my body. I called someone that could hold space for me, and I expressed all of the inner dialogue of the shame that was coming up for me around it. Deep, deep wounds and dialogues from my childhood were coming up. And it's easy in that moment to think, oh my God, I'm stuck here. I haven't made any progress. I haven't done anything right. That is not true. You are getting to the root. Let it be, let it show up. Become aware of those beliefs that you still have within you about that. Let it come up. That is where your power lies. That is where your power lies, is to let everything that is showing up right now be there. Hold that space for yourself and know that you have not backtracked. If you feel like things are getting worse, see it as yourself getting to the root of what is holding you back in your life. The other thing that I want to mention is that if you're here on my channel, if you align with my videos and the things that I share, it's likely because you are a very special soul. And your mission here on earth is to let yourself feel, is to let yourself heal these things within you, because your healing is changing the world. You have such a more important mission than making all of that money and having the perfect body and this and that, everything that your ego wants. I'm not saying that you won't have the abundance that you want, that you won't feel healthy and good in your skin. But take your focus off of that and bring your focus to holding deeply loving and compassionate space for yourself. Observing the ego, observing the attachments to changing these things, and letting that move to the side as you allow these energies to move through you. That is going to change your life and change the world. So just remember how important your mission is, how important you are. And the work that you're doing is not going unnoticed. I'm right here with you. You're not alone. Thank you so much for being here on my channel with me here throughout this journey. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. If you can relate to what I'm going through, I would absolutely love to know in the comments. And if you want to go a little bit deeper with me, I have a whole online shop of meditations and guided rituals that I've used to support myself on my journey. Either way, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.